Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something that really hits close to home for a lot of people: trust, contracts, and the future security of folks who serve our communities. What happens when these long-standing agreements, especially about critical benefits, suddenly get challenged?
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
That's really the core of what we're looking at today. It's this battle over post-retirement medical benefits for police union members. And we've got some pretty compelling feedback, actually, from active members, retired members, reacting to an arbitrator's ruling and then the county commissioner's response. So our mission really is to unpack this dispute, understand the impact on the individuals.
Right. And it's not just a simple disagreement over terms, is it?
No, not at all. Our sources suggest there's a lot going on here: precedent, maybe some political maneuvering. It complicates what, on the surface, seems like it should be pretty clear.
Well, what's really striking is how strong the reaction was initially to that arbitrator's ruling. The feedback we have shows, widespread approval, big relief, especially among the retirees.
I can imagine.
And what made this ruling so important, according to the sources, is that it specifically pointed back to a case from 1992.
92, okay.
Yeah, a precedent that many thought had basically settled this exact issue years ago, which makes the county's appeal now, kind of surprising to them.
So for a lot of these folks, this wasn't just a win. It felt like upholding a promise.
Exactly. Like finally confirming these, long-standing agreements for free medical care after retirement. We saw a quote from one retired officer, 30 years on the force, saying something like, this ruling meant I could finally afford my heart medication, without draining savings.
Yeah.
Felt like trust was restored.
Wow. That's powerful. Huge relief then. So this wasn't just some casual understanding. It was a formal, negotiated, legally binding agreement.
That's right.
But then the county commissioner's office responded. And based on the feedback we saw, that didn't go over well at all.
No, definitely not. The reaction was pretty much the opposite: widespread disapproval.
How did their actions kind of shift the whole dynamic then?
Well, the feedback describes the county's response as basically a failure to honor that agreement. And not just the agreement, but also apparently disregarding multiple prior court rulings on the matter.
Okay, so the arbitrator. They're supposed to be neutral, right? Their decisions are often binding.
Generally, yes. An arbitrator acts as a neutral third party, and their rulings can often carry legal weight. So when the sources say the county's response is seen as disregarding court rulings and non-compliance, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, it's not just disagreeing. It implies they're actively challenging established legal interpretations.
Which adds a lot of weight to that sense of betrayal the members are feeling. It suggests they might be trying to get around a legally ratified document.
And this is where it really starts to, hit home for people individually. Our sources really highlight the human cost of the county pushing back, the appeals, the non-compliance. We're not just talking about fewer benefits. It sounds like it changes everything about how they saw their retirement.
Absolutely. This is where it gets really tough for the members. When these agreements get challenged like this, especially with ongoing appeals, it causes immediate, significant financial hardship.
How so? What are they facing practically?
Well, people are now paying for medical expenses they absolutely expected to be covered, free and clear. We're hearing from members, where monthly medical bills are suddenly starting to eat up their entire pension check.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, forcing really difficult choices about prescriptions, about essential care, sometimes even basic living costs.
That's an incredibly difficult spot to be in.
It is. And the responses just consistently show this deep sense of betrayal.
Yeah.
Profound uncertainty. Imagine you build your whole future, your financial plan, around a promised benefit, only to have it tangled up in this long, expensive legal fight for years.
You dedicate your career, plan based on these agreements made in good faith, and then it feels like the rug's just pulled out. It's clearly way more than just a legal fight. It's deeply personal for every single member caught up in this.
Exactly.
Does the feedback suggest whether members see this as a deliberate strategy from the county, or maybe just, bureaucracy gone wrong?
Well, the feedback we reviewed doesn't explicitly take sides on motivation, but it strongly conveys a feeling among members. The perception seems to be that the county's actions are deliberately eroding trust, regardless of the actual intent behind it.
Right, yeah.
And this whole situation just perfectly illustrates how these complex legal and contract disputes directly hammer the financial stability of the retirement plans of people who spent their whole career serving. You got this tension, right?
Yeah.
The arbitrator's clear ruling, the county keeps appealing, and then the actual lived reality of these union members stuck in the middle. It's critical. It really brings up a fundamental question, doesn't it? You look at this ongoing dispute, and you have to ask, what does this reveal about how strong contractual agreements really are? And what about the sense of security we think we have from them, especially when planning for something as vital as retirement?
A really important question to think about.